Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Mouse Ears and Magical Chats. I'm here with Jess and we have a special guest, Ricky. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. How are you guys?
Special
Awesome.
guest.
Yes. So Jenny is out camping, so she's not here with us, but we were lucky enough to bring Ricky in, and he is a Roosevelt enthusiast. Roosevelts, S on the end. And I was hoping, Ricky, you could, for our listeners that really aren't familiar yet, tell us what Roosevelts is and how did you get started with them?
Okay, so Roosevelts is a clothing company. They do high grade Americana is kind of how they started. So their company started from two guys from Seton Hall Academy, Stephen and John. And so it's kind of hard to describe, but so they make these awesome clothes, right? So they made one shirt way back in the day, probably around like 2016-ish, and it was the Sandlot, and they were trying to promote these shirts by going on this trip. They went around to all the ballparks in America to like do this like college trip thing, like best friends, like we're gonna go to see all the parks. So they were trying to sell these shirts. Well, Fox sent them a cease and desist letter and was like, you can't just make Sandlot stuff. Like you can't just do that.
Yeah.
Like that's our thing. And then they saw the shirt and they were like, make us another one. Make us another one. I'll try this. So it started really small in a sense of like, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble. And then they were like, okay, go ahead and try it. And so in 2016, they established their company, the Roosevelts, and named after 26th President Teddy Roosevelt. And their slogans "Dare Mighty Things" and "Stay Radical." But these it's like the American dream, right? You make a thing and then you get to create it and then you make tons of money and move on, right? That's like the American dream, right? That's what these boys are doing, right? Is they created these awesome clothes. Now I'll get into them a little bit more. I think we'll talk like when you ask me about different designs and stuff, I can tell you materials and stuff, but just to get the background, they make these shirts and sweatshirts and flannels, and it's all about all the TV shows and movies, and Disney picked them up after they made some Star Wars shirts around the time The Mandalorian came out. So there were some Mandalorian shirts, and Disney kind of gave them the license because Mandalorian was new and they weren't really, Disney's really tight on their IPs and stuff. They
Yeah.
don't like let them to just. So, long story short, they went from a cease and desist letter and now they actually have shirts that are only sold in the parks themselves.
Hmm.
So they made that dream come true. But I got into them. So it was a Facebook ad, like anything else, right? Like scrolling, you're scrolling, you're scrolling. And it was around, I think it was just after, must have been around 2017. And I was scrolling. I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice. I like that. And I bought it and I liked it. And I bought another one. And then now it's what, 8 years later, and I'm a lot of shirts in, and
It's usually safer if you don't quantify. I'm sure your
right,
wife
just a
knows.
lot, just a lot,
I
But
have a Disney friend who has said, because I have these friends that I've made through the Disney fandom, and one of my friends said in like one of the groups we're in recently, like, I'm on a freeze. Amy says no more shirts. I can't buy any more. We love Amy. We're not mad at Amy, but it is like
yeah, no,
escalates, right? Because they're great.
and they do, and they've been and recently after like the Disney jump and the parks and like they go to every con. They're part of like D23.
Yeah.
They had like a special booth at D23 that was the most magical thing I think I'd ever seen. Like it was built like I want to say it looked like an old library. So when you like walked in and it was just like dark, but like the books and everywhere and like the shirts were hung up in like night. It's crazy. It's crazy to go from college buddies to this. But unfortunately, last May, we lost Steven, who was the co-owner, and our biggest thing is to live on his legacy of daring mighty things, and we call it being a Steve, which is I'm part of this community online for the Roosevelts, and there's a lot of caring, a lot of giving. There's really a lot of positivity. There's a lot of openness. It's really neat to find like-minded people, and I think that's a lot where the Disney adult comes in too, because a lot of us are Disney adults. So it's kind of cool to find that, because adulting is hard, right? And then finding friends as an adult is even harder, and keeping friends as an adult is hard. Those combination of things, to be able to just find people that make sense and just lock in, like it's wonderful. So
Yes. So how did you go from buying a shirt, buying another shirt, buying a couple shirts? Like how did you connect in real life
so in
and
real
like
life,
start to
how
build real relationships with other folks like who were affiliated in that way?
Steven's brainchild was this online community. It's called the Roosevelts Insiders. So you buy a shirt, you get an email. It's like, hey, get on the inside,
Mm.
and we'll give you like, when drops are happening or when new shirts, and like there's this awesome community that's so on. Well, I had just posted stuff on my personal page, and I think I must have hashtagged it or something along the lines where they saw it, and I got an email from them. I got an email from them and was like, hey, we'd like you to model some of these shirts. And I was like, me? Like, do you know where I live? Like, I live in the middle of nowhere. Like, no one's gonna see these. Are you sure? And they're like, no, 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 no. Like, it's just do it. It's gonna be awesome, and so on. So that was towards the beginning. And then I just fell in love with this community. It's a great online group of people. I think there's like almost 38,000 of us now
Whoa.
Wow.
when it started. So there's 38,000 of us. And I got to be honest, I use it as a platform. I talk about everything from mental health to like, but it's my sobriety. We went through a house fire and people helped out. We were having a baby, and we were trying very long time to do that. And I had support from them too. So this community just kind of came out of nowhere, snuck up on me, right? Like it just, I was like, I don't know, I'll just post like pictures of like, hey, what's up? Or like, I'm doing something. And now it's like, I'll even make videos and tell stories, and like these people like care about like what's going on. And through my storytelling, I've reached out and helped a lot of people that have like contacted me and said, hey, your positivity, hey, your story, hey, you're this and that. Like it's not just about the shirts. We say, come for the shirts, stay for the community.
Nice.
So that's what it is. And I got this random email one day from them, and it just kind of, it's like, well, here's my cell phone, here's this. And then they just kind of like, now like I make sure I just send them like a happy Friday text every Friday. They're busy, up at HQ, but it's nice to remind them that, you know, everybody needs a little backslap every once in a while, right? A little reminder to go crush it and
It
be
is
awesome.
very interesting the overlap with like the online Disney kind of adult communities that exist. Like I know there's different, we talk about like there's the Run Disney kind of arm of it, and there are DVC communities, and there are like the planners that's like the nerd corner of Disney planning adults like that. I've met real life friends, where we've like gone on trips together and stuff now, and it is very similar. Like it's
Yeah,
nice to
like
connect. And I know
it's,
there are Disney people who overlap with the
oh yeah,
Roosevelts community. So can you
yeah,
talk
for sure.
about we started talking about having you on because you went to Disney with them. Like how did that come about, and like what did you all do? And can you talk about that a little bit?
All right. So the trip came about was kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity for me. Full disclosure, I'm a dad of five, so that's a lot to handle and a lot to
No.
run away from. You know what I mean? And leave
Just putting on your oxygen mask.
single-handedly.
We're
Yeah,
all
so
just
but my friends from the Roosevelt's Insiders community, we all joke. I say when in my post, like, love from the Boondocks, like, because that's where we live. We live in the middle of nowhere. Like, when I show people, they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Like, it's okay. It's fine. I love where I live, but it's not convenient or conducive to someone who wants to go to Comic Cons and, like, go to Florida. It just doesn't really jive. So they surprise me and they're like, hey, can you get the time off? And I'm like, maybe. They're like, no, 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 no. Can you get the time off? Because I'm the type that I don't really want to like take anything from anybody, let alone like, and they're like, just tell us if you can get the dates off. So sure, calm down. Don't worry about anything. Now in my brain, that's like, all right, I'll have somewhere to stay, like blah blah. No, this was like, I won the lotto. Like I didn't pay for a water. So this
wow.
was above and beyond anything. So I had no idea. This was so last minute, and they're like, "You're gonna do it. This is gonna be awesome," and so on and so forth. So I got to go to all three parks in one day. We started the parks in one day, and we did rope drop to rope drop, and it was one of the most magical days of my life.
And you were like a group of people going, or what was the deal?
So I met up with a bunch of my friends from the community, and they picked me up at the airport. And we initially went down because the Roosevelts were at MegaCon in Orlando.
Cool.
So MegaCon was in Orlando, and they were like, "You need to come down from MegaCon because MegaCon is happening." And then also, side note, was Mosh Isley, which is an emo punk night where you dress up like Star Wars characters, and it's lovely. It's another like unit of awesomeness
Yeah.
that is so that was fun. So all three of these things were all happening in Orlando at the same time. They're like, "Listen, you have to be here." I'm like, sure, I think. So I get all nervously on the plane, and I'm traveling down, and like they pick me up, and like, but I just think my mind was just blown. We call it, well, they call it, and I call it now, the bubble. Once you enter that little arch,
Mm-hmm.
it's the bubble. Nothing bad. Even if something bad happens, you're still there. So
Yeah.
it's wonderful. Everybody's like, and even people who are like, and I was laughing because I was telling my friends, I'm like, look at these grumpy dads. They're even having fun. Look at them with their ears. Like, you can't. You're smiling, like, because even if you're not there for one thing, something else is going to pop up, and you're just going to be like, oh my gosh, and just love it and eat it all up. And so I was exhausted. I wouldn't recommend trying to do all three parks in one day.
Okay, there are 4 parks.
Four
So where
parks.
did you
Well,
go?
I take it back. We did all 4 parks. I apologize. We did the 4. I was counting them. So we did everything in one day and the con. So it that was just one day, and then the next day we did other things.
It's a
So I
lot
did
of Celsius
a lot of
flowing.
yes, a lot of, and I actually had never had a Celsius until I went down there, and now I'm like a poster child for Celsius. So
Mary Bat's the Celsius gal.
I just can't. I just need it, just please.
Keeps it going.
I'm a Joffre's coffee. I just mainline that. It's just straight into the veins, and I'm good.
Hopefully Disney's listening to this. Could they just get like a bunch of Celsius in all of the hotels? Because it's not in all of them.
It's not?
No, it is not. And I want it. Coronado had it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Boardwalk did not.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And what about, well, when we were at French Quarter, you ordered it, right?
Yeah, I ordered it to the room. Like, whatever.
Instacart or whatever.
Yeah, Instacart.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, you're running on Magic and Celsius or Joffrey's. Like, that's all there is.
Like even the heat, like I'm very, I say I'm like Larry Bird where I'm clear. Like the sun just hurts my soul a lot. And I just was so happy. Like I was sweating, and it was like, I'm like, everything, the sun's so nice. I just love it. I just don't care. Like I was like, so like standing outside where were we? Tower. We were outside a tower. And I can remember at that moment, I'm like, I am so dehydrated.
Yeah.
Like, I can feel it. I'm like, I am just like, someone should get me a water probably. And I'm like, just drinking water. But I'm like, and in that moment, like anywhere else, if you're dehydrated, you're like, I should just go home. Like, I need to, you're like, no way, just give me the water, whatever. Liquid IVs.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah, liquid IVs are amazing. And Powerade is everywhere because they're Coke, the bubble's a Coke bubble. So those Powerades are your friend. Like they are the best $5 you're going to spend if you need it.
Absolutely. What we're not going to talk about is Beverly. Do you guys,
Nope.
Ricky, come try this wonderful. And
I'm sure you're like, sure, I'll try it. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And into the new Club Cool since it relocated, which has been a while. Like, I feel weird saying that, but I just haven't made it in there. I had like the heebie-jeebies about it right after COVID. Like it took me a minute to like come back to the being okay with that. And I've been going through my old pictures, and I found a picture of Jackson, his first trip when he was 9 months old. We did like a very short pop down there. Our family member gave him there's like a picture of him trying Beverly when he was 9 months old, and his face, I'll share it with you. You can splice it in, but I haven't been to Club Cool since 2011 a long time ago.
Maybe December's your time. Or August, right? August, you're going when you make it to Epcot. Oh.
No, I'm not going to Epcot in August for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Because if I go, I'm only doing the Halloween party.
That's awesome.
No other parks time. That is the truth. Unless we're going.
Unless
Are we
we're
doing
going-
another? Yeah, I'm looking at you.
I don't know, because Jake now is talking about trying to get some Buffalo Bill time. You know, so we're gonna have to figure that out, because that was my next ask. Buffalo Bills, go Bills!
Okay. So you did 4 parks in one day.
4 parks. Yes, I apologize. I kept saying 3 before. All 4 parks in the first day. And then I got to spend a little extra. Where did we?
Did you
went
guys have
back
a
to
tour
Hollywood.
guide, or were you just off doing it?
So I went with a lot of Disney adults. So they're like,
Yeah.
they
No,
know what they're
those are my
doing.
people.
I was like, they're like, just follow us.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Because I did for 1 second. I'm like, I need to like just go for a walk. Like, I love people, but like sometimes there's a lot of people. I'm like, I just need to like reset for a second, right?
Yes.
So like I went for a loop, and then I was like, I don't know where I am. I gotta figure this out. I'm like, someone share their location.
Yeah, the
I
Find
need
My.
to find me. And then finally I got sick of walking. I'm like, you guys need to just find me. Like,
Yeah.
you know where I am, so you find me. And I ended up riding Figment again by myself because it was calm and quiet, and I like Figment. So
Except
like, I'm
the
gonna
part with the train.
Quiet, the
I was
smell.
like, listen, I'm gonna go ride Figment, and you guys come find me after. So it worked out. It worked
This
out.
is so funny to me. I love
It
it.
worked out. Yeah,
It is
no,
true.
it's just
Disney people are the tour guides.
they just get it, and I'm like, what do you mean? And like, I was so lucky because like, I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to, if Disney is watching, like, I may have used some extra fast pass bands or something, or stood in different lines that I wasn't supposed to. But I got to ride everything. They just put me. They're like, hey, we got you a thing to go on, so just take my band and go. Like, I went on Tron. I went on Guardians. Like,
Awesome.
I was with people. They're like, we've never even been. I'm like, well, why aren't you? And like, because it's your first time. Just go. Like, just
I
go. I was
love
like, okay.
that.
So like, I rode Guardians. I got to listen to Conga on Guardians. That was super fun. I still don't understand how that ride works. Like, I've
Awesome.
been trying to figure it out. It's so smooth.
It is.
Tron I did at night, which was a lot of fun.
Cool.
So that was fun. But all the like nostalgic rides that I loved, like Pirates and Figment, and I got to see Muppets in 3D before they
Good.
closed it. And that made my heart like, I love the Muppets, so like just watching it all happen, and like I'm like, this is so cool. Like, why is it going away? And I know like their plans, and
Okay, good.
but I'm like, this was neat. You know, the old theater and so on and so forth. But
Fun. And you got to Galaxy's Edge.
yes, yeah. As a Star Wars nerd, I wasn't sure how much Star Wars fandom is and with you guys, but I was just blown away. I mean, drinking my blue milk and just walking around with like the single teardrop,
Yeah.
just it's fine. Everything's fine, you know.
It's
It was
your inner child is like healing, like
yeah,
rapid. It's like accelerated healing that happens when you're
it really
there. I
was. Like
swear.
standing next to the Millennium Falcon, like, could you ever say you're gonna get to like, come on, like, let's be real. Like, that's not real, but it's real. You know what I mean? Like, that's the crazy part. It's like they put so much time and effort into the minute details, and that's the stuff that makes me happy. Like, yeah, look, it's the Millennium Falcon, but like you look and then there's like a tiny Millennium Falcon inside the Millennium Falcon hiding so you can find it. Like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
I
so it's
didn't
on
know
like
that.
it's underneath the cockpit and it's upside down, like how they hid underneath the Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Cool.
one you'll have to look it up. It's pretty. I was like, dude, you have to see that, and it's just this little tiny underneath so it's
That's
like
cool.
pretending to hide. So it's just stuff like that, and they go all out. And we did have a lot of the insiders I was with. I would say probably about a third of them actually work at Disney too.
Cool.
So it was nice to like they were like, this is what you should do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
even with the adults that knew where we were going, you know, people that work at the parks obviously know the ins and outs of what you should do. So it was wonderful to be there. And like I was saying, it's like everyone's smiling, even the grumpy people are like happy to be there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is magical. And that's, you know, it's supposed to be. So
for this epic trip, what shirt did you wear? Like, what was your theme?
so that's we all bring backpacks because we shirt change.
Well, you
We
have to,
shirt
right?
change. We have to. So I had Star Wars for Galaxy's Edge. When we went to see Toy Story Land, I had my Sid shirt on for Sid's room.
Oh, wow.
I wore this like when we went to
Magic Kingdom?
Magic Kingdom, but then nope, this is for Disney Springs.
Okay.
I was in Disney Springs. When I went to Kingdom, I'll send you some pictures if you want, and I can
Yes. Yeah, they would
I
love to see
have
it.
some. It's like my nice blue one in front of the castle with a thumbs up. Like they treated me like their little brother, their little kid. Like they just were like, just do all the things and we'll take all the pictures. And I was like, okay.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, shirt changes are a thing. You'll see a lot of them in the park. They stand out. Like you'll
Yeah.
know, and people will like scream to you. So if you're wearing one of these and someone yells, don't worry. It's not. No one's being mean. They're just trying to get your attention. Because like we had the last day at Epcot, we did it around the world, and I think there was almost 30 of us just walking like around the world, and like people with just random should be like, "Wow, those are like, yep, we're your people. Come here, we'll talk to you
Mhm.
about it. Come over," and like being like a poster boy for the company, like telling them like there's QR tags like actually on the
Really?
tags, so
Oh, so smart.
you can actually just like scan it and it brings you to the app or so on. So it's
That's smart.
because a while ago you used to be like, well, you have to go to RSVLTS, and people are like, what? I'm like,
Yeah.
just scan the code now, and the code works, and it's
I'm gonna
phenomenal.
have to see if Jason's. I got him the a
It should be
Ratatouille
on the
one.
it should be on the inside of
I'll have to look. But he definitely has done that where he's seen other guys like wearing that shirt when we're in the parks and he'll like say, "Hey man,
oh
nice
yeah,
shirt. I got that
yeah.
one." Like it is
It's a thing. If you're like not if you're not calling people out, you're not doing it right. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
and he's had people
people love
say to
it.
him, "That's a great shirt. Where'd you get it?" And then he like tells them, "But the QR things, that's brilliant." And I didn't know
Yeah.
there were unique ones in that were parks only. So that's gonna like
Now the parks only ones have been pretty spot on. Obviously, as Disney gets to control those things and gets to pick and choose what they want,
Mhm.
but have been some really nice. The three that I've seen so far that were really just they had a really nice Darth Vader one, and they're so different. Like they're not just like this style where they're blocks. Like I should have brought some extras for you so I could have shown you out. But when you check them out, like they have everything. Like you're gonna go, wait, they have this license. They have that. I mean, Jurassic Park. They have Harry Potter. They have not just Disney. So you gotta like, Back to the Future is one of my favorites.
Mm.
They have Back to the Future line. Um, but once they got Disney, like they got all these grand ideas. Like they just did the Goofy movie.
I
You
know I
guys remember
saw
that?
that.
They just did the 30th or no, 20 is that the 25th anniversary?
It's 20.
25th anniversary of the Goofy movie, and they did a huge drop for that. So they have like the Power Line t-shirts, like it looks like a concert t-shirt, you know what I
Oh, that's
mean? Like
cool.
It's cool.
shorts, and they do everything on non-licensed stuff too. I love a lot of their non-licensed stuff. Their flannels in the winter, and they have coats.
They have a lot of stuff.
They really do. They have their own golf line. So if anyone's golf, it's called Breakfast Balls,
Okay.
and it's phenomenal. They knock everything out of the park. And I was lucky enough to go to HQ in 2023. They brought me down to New York City Comic Con then, and it's a warehouse in New Jersey in Hoboken. It's just what you think it is. Like it's this big open space, just nothing of just they have like one Xbox. Like it's not like this big giant. It's just them bouncing ideas off each other, and it's pretty neat. So
And that's awesome. Do they have any female lines too, or is it
they
mostly men?
do. So women's cuts are hard to find. They don't do it for every drop, but they have been doing them for the last couple of years because there was like like they fit, but as for a woman, you want a woman's cut that like is for you guys. Like that doesn't make sense. Like you guys don't want to wear a box. And then if you do wear it, you got to tie it or do however, spice it up. But they do have women's cuts, which I think for the most part I've heard have been all pretty spot on. I don't know because I don't wear them. but the the
Fair.
um the ladies, the Lady Velts, they seem pretty happy about it. They just seem like they just don't get the old school stuff. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
they didn't do a lot of the old stuff in the ladies' cuts. That's all.
No, that makes sense. So you talk about drops. How often do drops happen?
Whenever they feel like.
Okay. So
What's
it just
just
comes out of the blue?
they give you a heads up. Usually, I want to say, but it's so sporadic. They have a calendar, but like it doesn't really go by the calendar, so there's drops a lot. That's why it's nice to be like on the inside because you know when it's coming. Because drops, unfortunately, depending on whatever IP it is, or they can go fast.
Hmm.
Like like stuff sells out and
Okay.
people
So they
get
only make a certain amount of each shirt.
yep.
Okay.
So that's a thorn in a side of some people because they've grown so much that shirts that used to just be like, oh, I just get a shirt whenever I want. Like you're at 4 o'clock looking at your app, like refreshing the app, you're like, all right, I need to get the large in this real quick, otherwise it's not going to be there.
It's good to
But
know
they,
because I got some
yeah,
Father's Day shopping I got to do, and
yeah. Well, keep me posted. I can help you out on
I
that
got to
too.
not put that too far down on my list. My husband was looking, I mean, obviously we were talking to you, but he earlier was like, they got a lot of nice shirts right now. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, I could really spend some money.
Yeah, and they get you too because, like I said, like what did they do back to back? Was it they just did? I want to say like 6 drops within the last week. Like they
Wow.
did
Okay.
the Flintstones golf line today.
Goofy movie was like on Friday because I
Goofy movie
sent it
was
to
Friday.
somebody.
Yep, Goofy movie. They did an Alien drop, like from the old school Alien movie.
Nice.
They're all in London right now because they're in for a Comic Con over there. So the shirts that they dropped for London were really nice. Some Harry Potter. The one that was like called Dragon's Kiss had dragons and swords on it, and it was gray, and it was very gloomy, like Englandy kind of. But they know what they're doing, and they know how to get you. So watch out, Jess.
Don't, yeah, you go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, it's all right. We got Father's Day and we got a birthday, so
There you
Perfect.
go.
See, perfect.
Well, just looking at your shirt, what is the actual
material.
fabric?
Okay, so they call it Kunu Flex. So KUNU and then flex. So I describe it as almost like a jersey-like material, but softer, and it's stretchy and it's
Yeah.
breathable,
Looks
and it's
comfortable.
so they're ridiculously comfortable for a button-up shirt. Like I don't like that's not I'm like sweatpants and a sweatshirt and that's how I usually like to roll, but they're comfortable. I can't lie, and it's an attention grabber and it's a conversation starter and it's all of those things rolled into one. And then the fact that they're comfortable too, it's like, well, that's just a win all the way around.
And breathable because like the parks for the Disney like part of the it's hot
It's so hot.
and like Jason really likes button up shirt. He's like he's fully embraced his Hawaiian shirt dad like persona. He's just full on Hawaiian shirts and Disney's really hot and like we are not hot weather people and that shirt is very breathable because it kind of at first I was like I don't know if it's like a poly,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
feels
like
like it might be
I've
too
gone
thick,
full
but
cotton, but they are very breathable.
yeah, whatever material this is, it's whatever they've used. This Kunu Flex is just because their shirts used to be like that poly, like you said, when they first started. Because I still have a couple of like the old shirts, and you're kind of walking like this because there's no give, no, but like they're just they're comfortable, they're soft, they're stretchy. I call them like my jegging
Yeah.
shirts because I'm like, listen, I love jeggings. Who doesn't? You look like jeans where you're wearing sweatpants. Come on now. So I'm wearing like a sweatshirt, but it looks like I'm trying, you know. So it works out.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Well, I also wanted to just go back to this community you talked about and the positivity behind it. I was hoping you could like just give us a story from that because I didn't know that. I didn't know you had like this community that like brought all this positivity on top of like nice shirts, but like that they
Yeah.
actually like have this community that is just so positive. So could you tell us a little bit more about that or a story from it?
Yeah, absolutely. I can share you one that happened this week. Actually, it happened to me, and these stories kind of happen to me a lot more than I deserve, but I appreciate them nonetheless. Hey, babe, can you grab the snowsuit? She's gonna grab the snowsuit for you. I gotta show you this.
The snowsuit.
So, yeah. She'll get it in a second. So this community, I can't stress it enough, has been there for me a lot. The hashtag I use is PAW, which is positivity always wins. So I throw that a spin on every day. Like, even if I'm having a crap day, I'm gonna throw a post up there and be like, listen, this is how I'm spinning it. Because maybe someone else isn't having a great day, you know, and maybe they just need someone to help them, give them that little push. And I post, I want to say almost every day, probably, because there's sometimes I do twice depending on what we're doing that day or if we're celebrating. This week we did like a spirit week. So like each day was like because last week was actually the memorial of Stephen's passing. So everyone was like giving all the Steven stories, and they were like, "How are we gonna like come back from that? You know, how are we like? We want to be back being happy, back to being like everyone was
Yeah.
kind of sad, but like all the posts were so positive about like all these interactions they had with the company and so on and so forth. So this week we did Spirit Week, which was like food day or like whatever. We had different shirts. So, like I had one that I have like I like to wear when I grill. It has like a hot dog and American flag, and it's like a roper. So it has like the old like cowboy like style
Yeah.
on it. So I wear that. But this community. So being a Steve is just kind of going out of your way to like help. And it doesn't always have to be like something huge. It could be like a note. Like Steve used to do handwritten letters. Like if he sent me something, there was a note with it. And those notes meant more to me than like whatever it was that he sent, except for my Michael Jordan rookie card shirt. I can't, that's,
Sorry, Steve.
there was only 123 of those ever made. I think he sent out like 30 of them, and I have one of them, and I'm never letting that thing go ever.
Amazing.
He knew you'd treasure it.
Oh, I do, I do. But so this week, all right, how do I start that? I'll show you first. So this is a print, and it looks like Mrs. Frizzle a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
I love
So it's
it.
Spaceman, right? It's a giant snowsuit.
Love it.
Only
This was going to be for Eve. I thought you were going to show like a
no,
little baby snowsuit.
I do have a little. They made a shirt, like a little shirt for her. I can show you that. So the snowsuit came out of nowhere. I get a note. Somebody knew that I wanted it, knew that only one of them really existed in the world besides the one that's hanging up in HQ. And they did like a silent bidding behind my back and then sent it to me.
Oh,
Because the guy was asking, like, I mean, it's like I don't know what a regular snowsuit costs, but one that's, you know, limited and special to the company, like it was, but they've sent me, I have a one-on-one basketball jersey that I wear all the time. Um, but people go out of their way to tell me that I've helped them. Like, you helped me. I've had people, because I've been so open with my own mental health, with my own sobriety, with my being a dad, being a husband, being a worker, being all the hats that I have to wear every day. I share that with that community. I don't know why. I don't know when I started. I can't really remember, but I just one day opened the book and it's there. When we went to Steve's Memorial in Hoboken in September, we went to Pier 13. It's right in Hoboken, and you actually sit on the pier and you look over like New York City. And there was just, I want to say there was 250 people, and not from New Jersey, but from like all over the country that like flew in to like be a part of this. So this community means a lot, just not to me, but like a lot of people. Like it really does. So it's like you said, the like-minded Disney folks that like you see at the
mhm.
park and you just kind of you're like, I get you, I know you, I feel that, you know what I mean? And it's a wonderful experience, and it's been a heck of a ride for the last, I don't know what I say, so 17, almost 8 years.
It feels special. Like it just, the way you describe it and the community, like it's just more than a shirt. And I'm really impressed by this company.
And they mean it too, from the top, from the tippy top to the bottom. We're and listen, there's bad apples. You know, people, there's
Anywhere.
trolls. There's trolls that like to just,
There are cranky Disney
I
adults
know.
too,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
all right, you want,
Yes,
here,
there.
I will give you the cranky Disney adult example of the week. Crazy. This is the craziest story that I've heard. You wanted to hear a fan reaction to a drop, right? So
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
the
yeah.
fan reaction. In the Goofy movie, they go to the possum place, right? And they wear like the possum hat,
Mm-hmm.
and they make it out of a possum. Well, if you make something out of something, obviously it's dead in the movie, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the possum was upside down. Disney didn't want to have something dead that they were selling, so the Roosevelts made like a possum hat, but the possum's happy, and he's like, "Yay! Like I'm a possum! Like it's a possum hat! It's a possum hat! You got a possum hat from the Goofy movie." And people were like, "Well, it's not really movie accurate."
Oh, I'm the purist.
What? You got a possum hat and you're mad?
Yeah.
I don't get it. So that was this week. Poor John,
Favorite
John, the
reaction.
owner's
Possum hat?
John's
You man?
texting me and he's like, "These people are so mad about the possum hat," and I'm like, "Buddy, like, just it's fine. Like, it's sold out. Like, trust me, everybody was happy with it except for like four people, and they didn't even get one, so it doesn't matter."
That's why they're mad.
Uh, that's why they're
That's why
mad.
they're mad.
But
Not
yeah, it
because of the
wasn't.
possum hat, because they didn't get it.
It's amazing.
So I told him to do a
Magic
restock. I told
ruined.
him to do a restock the possum hats.
Yeah, I want to see
But
the possum hat now.
yeah, look at it's
Yeah,
under
that's
the
sold
power
out.
line drop. It's on there. It's so good.
I'm so checking this out.
Cool. That's amazing. That sounds about right. Disney people
But
are
yeah,
pretty.
but like, and he was like, and like I said, poor John's texting me. He's like, "I don't know what to do." I'm like, "Nothing. You don't do any. You did
No,
the
you
right
don't do
thing.
anything.
Disney told you no. Guess what? Disney told you no. Guess what? That's it.
Yeah,
There's no please, can we? If they say no, move on.
yeah,
Move on
and
to
like you said,
whatever."
it's still sold out, so it was still a fan favorite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Walt said that the parks will be always growing and changing, and we all have to come to grips with the fact that things are always changing in the Disney bubble, and that's just as Walt wanted it. So
Absolutely.
when Daddy says so, you listen.
Go listen.
Though, on that same kind of breadth, if you got to design a shirt around like a Disney ride or a Disney theme or a moment, what would you design?
So two rides that I got to go on that I loved was Tron. Obviously, it's short, but I liked the movie Tron. The
Mm-hmm.
one that they redid, like I liked the obviously the old one, but even the one that they had remade, I enjoyed. I thought it was good. So I'd love to see some sort of a Tron. It'd be cool to have like the suit. You know what I mean? Like as the like a what do we call them? We call them full panel. So a full panel shirt doesn't have a pocket. Like I have one that has like Yoda on it, and like it's just big Yoda, and he's just like looking at Dagobah. Like it's so, but like having a Tron like with the suit or something like that, that would be fun. No pirates yet. We have no pirate shirts.
Yeah, that would be a really
I'm
good one.
Pirates line. I'm not sure why. I don't know if they're holding on to it. Is there a new pirate movie coming out soon?
Well, there's going to be
Does
a new
anyone
pirate
know?
bar, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, and can I just put in a little request? If they do
Yes.
a Pirates shirt that's about the ride, we need the hairy leg that's dangling over the bridge.
Okay.
The hairy leg is really important to me.
Is
Yeah,
it?
It
it
comes
is.
up a lot. I love the hairy leg. Every time I pass under the hairy leg, I take a picture of it. Now, my friend Jess, who's like she's never on the show, but we talk about her all the time, like she's on the show. She takes a picture of the hairy leg whenever she goes and she sends it to me. So the
Hairy
shirt
leg.
really needs the one pirate with his hairy leg. It's iconic.
I
And
did
if
not
that
know
happens,
this
I'm
was
going to
for you.
die happy.
Okay. Put in a good word.
It means so much to me.
If the
Because
hairy leg makes it on a shirt in the future, I will die.
it
Gonna
needs to
happen.
happen soon. So my first Disney trip, my dad, I was little. And my dad always pointed out the hairy leg and was like, look, the attention to detail at this place, that fake pirate has fake leg hair. Like, look at that leg. It's hairy. Like, no detail is missed. And he pointed it out as like, this is what excellence is like. You even remember the hairs on the leg. Like this is, and so now every time I see it, I think of my dad and I think about like being a kid and going and like, this is what sets Disney apart is the attention to detail every little bit. Like there's no detail too small.
Absolutely. I feel that. I love that. And I think that's a lot, not like with just the Disney, but if we tie it back into Roosevelt's, their attention to detail. Like even my buttons say Roosevelts on them. Like they don't have to say that.
No.
They could just be
And the
buttons.
QR code. Like
And the
that's
The
QR
QR code's so brilliant. I love
Yeah.
that.
I cannot over that because that's just smart. That is so smart. Especially you said people like shout out about like having nice shirts or
And they
bags.
just point at you like, hey, nice shirt. I'm like, come here.
Yeah.
Come here, come here, come here, come here.
Scan.
Scan me. Scan me.
And me.
And it works. And it works. It's free advertising for them. Like it's crazy, but it's just fun. I think all of it tying together, it's just fun. And I think as an adult, it's hard to have fun. So it's nice to be able to tie all those things in together.
I agree. 2 questions before we let you go. One, which Disney character would you want to share a churro with?
2, I think my 2 favorite Disney characters. One I did get a drop for, and I never thought I'd ever in a million years think I'd get a whole drop for was the original Robin Hood. Love Robin Hood.
Deep
Ever
cut.
when I was a kid, I don't know. I think I had it on VHS, so I think it was just one of those things where it's like I didn't have anything else to watch, so I just put it in and
Yeah.
just repetitive over and over again. But let's see. So Robin Hood, that'd be fun, the churro. And I've another just random deep cut for no reason is Crush. I'd love to just with
Yeah.
Crush, just hang out with dude, just
Yeah.
chill, hang out. He seems like a chill dude,
Oh, did you get to go talk to him at Turtle Talk?
No, I didn't. Because we did the 4, we were like,
You're
my
busted
steps,
through.
and I forgot the worst part, and I will tell anybody this. Clearly, I like fashion, right? Because I like my shirts and my things, and I wear my nice shoes, whatever. Wear your most comfortable, squishiest shoes. Don't wear your Jordans that have like no support and like gonna give you blisters. Like, yeah, they look great. You look great. Ricky, you look great. Why are you limping? Because I'm bleeding.
Why
'Cause
is
I'm
there
bleeding.
blood?
My buddies were like, what is wrong? I'm like, and then we had to go to the concert the night after. So I'm in like another pair of like flats shoes that have no support and I'm jumping up and down. And like that night I was in cramps so bad that I was like laying and I was like just cramping up because I'm like, I'm so dehydrated, but I couldn't get to the fridge because I couldn't stand up. So,
Yes.
but it was so worth it. I kept saying that in my head. I'm like, this is so worth it. It was so worth it. So,
Amazing.
Awesome. And then what is your favorite Disney snack or guilty pleasure?
all of it. I don't like. There's so many good. Can I tell you though the thing that saved me? I double fisted 2 blue milks when I was in Galaxy's Edge, and I think that revived my soul. I know it's literally just like a blue milkshake, like it means nothing, but in my brain I'm like, it's blue milk. Your whole body is fine, like everything is fine. Just drink it, and
Went back to life.
I came back to life.
It's magic.
Magic. Also, Haunted Mansion Rules. If anybody wants to know, that's one of my favorites too.
I don't know about the camera angle.
No, you can't see.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah. All right.
My sweet husband bought me this Haunted Mansion pillar for my office.
I'll send you a picture. My buddy just sent me one of the shirts from Haunted Mansion, so
Cool.
as a surprise. So I'll send it to you as well.
Nice.
It's almost spooky season.
Yeah,
So
I know.
close. So close.
I have my Haunted Mansion ears, custom made.
That's right.
So all right. So I see that you both have ears, but now do the husbands have ears? Do you make husband ears? Or do they just
Jake will
run
not wear
away?
my ears.
Jackson wears ears.
Jackson wore
Yeah.
ears.
Okay.
Yeah, I made Jackson ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Star Wars ears. 'Cause we had
Jason's
this
a
little-
hat guy, so like
You have a Possum hat.
he's
Man, you need to get him a
It'd be a
possum.
little hot. It'd be a little hot, but
yeah.
Maybe not during the winter time. December, it'll be great. We were cold last December.
Yeah, we really were.
we went. It was surprisingly. My trip was in February, and it was surprisingly like in the 80s. Like it was hot. which was nice because I, came from like 3 feet of snow and we had snow days while I was gone. So,
Yeah,
but
you guys gotta go to the Christmas party sometime. That would be
well, that's the thing is one of the things we talked about is going as an adult with adults versus going with your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And clearly, I want to take my children. I want them
Mhm.
to experience that. I want them to experience the magic, especially when they're this young, right? When they still feel it really in their soul before
Yeah.
that middle point where you're too cool. Like, okay, you're not cool. Like, you just think you're cool. Trust me, when you get older, you'll be like, I want to go back to Disney. So, but I would love just as like a, with my wife, just as partners to go and be adults, but be kids. You know what I mean? And not have to stress and not have to worry about those things. And I don't think enough people do that. One of the things the Roosevelts we talked about is do the trip, meet the people, do the thing, whatever it is. Because like the tagline, dare mighty things. Like I take that to heart. I do it every day. I wake up. I'm like, well, how am I going to crush this? How am I going to crush today? And with those sentiments, I think it just works. It just works.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys should. I think you guys should do an adult trip because it's
It's the best.
amazing when you're there with just your partner. I love taking my kids too, but like it's just such a different experience and you get this time away where like you have 5 kids. Like that's your life must be bonkers half the time. I have 2 and I think that I'm going to pull my hair out sometimes. So it'd be nice just to like have that time for the 2 of you in like a really magical place.
Right. And why not choose that place? Like we said,
Uh-huh.
like the bubble. Like why not go to the bubble? You know you're gonna have a good time, right?
No,
There's
that's
no
the part.
there's
The
no
world's
there's
crazy.
no yeah. The
It's
world
nice to
is
go there.
it's such a you're right. The world is so crazy and bleak and dark. It's nice to go and just be happy, right? Like we all wanted to be adults so bad, right? Like look at us. Like I want to
Scared.
grow up.
I knew.
You knew?
You.
Oh,
I
you
wanted to
knew?
keep living, but I didn't want to be an adult.
No way. Adulting
Nobody
is
I knew
the
made that look good.
no sponsibilities.
I
Those
didn't
are
want to carry a
terrible.
purse.
Oh,
That's terrifying.
Totally did. Now I don't want a
no.
purse.
Purse.
Now I'm like, give me to Disney World. I want to
Now I
hug
want to.
some college student in a suit. Oh, I was just thinking about our August trip, and like that was very last minute when we went, and the boys came, and like you and I got some time. We did this August trip, and it was quick, but like Jason and I got there, I think a day before you did. So like we hung out, just the 2 of us, and then the 4 of us met up and had dinner, and then the boys left, and like you and I got some time alone, and then all 4 of us hung out again, and it was just like one of my favorite memories is
Yeah, it was a good
like
trip.
going to Galaxy's Edge and hanging out at Oga's. And we're not like big bar people. Like Jason and I are not really big drinkers at all. But like hanging out in there was super fun. And we were visiting with the other random Disney people we didn't know. And it's just like such a, I don't know. And like going to the jazz club, my kids don't have, they're not going to sit there and like,
Which one
we had
is
to
the
like,
jazz? Which one
at,
is the jazz?
we stayed at Port Orleans French Quarter. So it has like the New Orleans theme and
Nice.
like, yeah.
We went
And
to
we
a
just,
dueling piano bar
but jelly
one
rolls.
night. Jelly Rolls. Yeah, we went to Jelly Rolls. That was fun. Although we were all singing along and they seemed like they weren't happy we were singing with them, which was very confusing to me because I'm like,
I've
isn't
never
that the
been
point?
there.
I was gonna go before they closed, and then I was just too tired.
It's the story of my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have like I was running on straight adrenaline anyway, so I think the whole trip like I was like, great, everything's fine. And I mean I crashed when I got home, but
Bet you
that's another
did.
story. Yeah. Actually, our youngest was sick. So as I was getting on the plane in Orlando, my wife's texting me, she's having an allergic reaction. I'm rushing her to UVM.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
oh, well, I'm getting on a plane in Orlando, so that doesn't make sense. So luckily I was flying to UVM or to Burlington. That was my flight. So
Perfect.
I was like right next door, but
There.
she ended up being fine. But what a nightmare. That was,
Yeah, that's so scary. And being so far away when that's
yeah.
happening.
Like
Terrifying.
I felt bad because I was like so panicked, like I didn't know what to do on the plane, so I just was staring at my phone, like hoping that the plane would go faster. And I'm like, is it gonna go faster? No, it's not faster. Okay, but
Whoa.
Yep.
but
Life
yeah,
comes at you fast. You leave that bubble and
Yeah, I
yeah, I
know.
know, right?
As soon
As
as
soon
you
as I
leave.
left the bubble, everything collapsed. I was like, oh no, go back to the bubble.
yeah. Well, this is great. I have definitely learned a lot. I knew about the shirts just from the Disney. There's some Disney influencers that there's like the overlap.
Anything, Mr. Morrow? Do you know Nate?
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Nate?
know him, but I know
No,
he's if I saw him in the parks, I would be like, oh.
Mr. Morrow, Nate is a wonderful human being, big hugger, big guy, love him. He's so sweet. We hung out in Orlando at some fast food joint. We were just talking for a while. It was nice to. He's so down to earth. Like he's just his persona. Like you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
that's him. He's just
That's
happy
great.
and just it's cool. So, but yeah, actually, the only other person that I know that's big that wears Roosevelts that I see is Adam Sandler.
Funny.
He just likes the golf stuff, and he just he likes the golf polos.
Yeah.
Because they're a different material than this, but they're almost the same. But you don't have the buttons, so it's like softer. I don't know how to explain it, but it's so they don't have like these big. You know what I mean? Like they never had like an endorsement
Yeah.
by somebody. They just did it themselves. So that was always fun.
Speaks to the quality, though.
And I love the origin story of like go and ask permission later. Like we're just gonna make Sandlot shirts. Like they knew you can't just sell Sandlot shirts, but
I know, right?
it worked out, and it's such a lesson.
It did, and they even on their website, I think it says a little tidbit. It's like we started from a cease and desist, and now like that's where we are. But they did, and it's that's I love that mentality where it's they push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like they were just in Japan at the opening, like that was crazy at the new Disney park there.
Yeah. At Jenny just told us about this.
Yeah, Jenny just went, right? Yeah. So they just opened up a park there, so they were there for that. The Star Wars celebration. They're just doing it. And I get to just ride the coattails and hang out and have fun. So it's been a wild ride.
Well, thank you for coming on and telling us all of this and letting us talk Disney and just like another little corner of Disney fandom where it overlaps with the other kind of community that grew up organically online and fun overlaps.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll put their website in our show notes and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there any other ways that people can look at their stuff?
Their website there's a website in the app. Nice. There's a few other actually they got a big start. I take that back. The Buc-ee's gas stations?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They sell them there. They sell shirts there. So they have Buc-ee's shirts they have shirts at Buc-ee's. So you can find them there too. Because I remember I was at a wedding up here and I was wearing a Christmas Vacation one. Now, my Christmas and my Halloween shirts are pretty phenomenal. I think I have one for every day at this point. But I was wearing Christmas Vacation and I was at a Christmas wedding, and the guy was like, I saw this at a gas station. I was going to buy. I'm like, they're out there. I mean, not generally around here, but they're out there. And like we said, the community overlaps with that Disney kind of mentality of just positivity and awesomeness and leaving all the sad stuff behind,
Love it. Love it. Especially right now in this world. It's just nice to hear about positivity.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks, Rick, for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Tell both the boys I said hi.
We will. And when you guys are ready to plan a trip, we're going to have you come back on and tell us all about Mom and Dad's Disney adventure.
Yeah, we're going to do something for sure.
Hop that direct flight out of Plattsburgh and even two nights away, man.
I know.
Restorative.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's a wrap on this happy, magical episode of Mouse Ears and Magical Chats. You know where to find us on all the social media, and we'll share Ricky's social media and Roosevelt's social media and all the jazz. So follow all the things and join us back here next week for another episode of Mouse Ears and Magical Chats.
Bye.
Bye.